Severin Freeman here for the freedomparadox.org. We're in pursuit of a Bethlehem police officer. Gonna just check and see if he is, oh, we got a traffic stop up ahead. Try not to get that. Try not to get that. We got a traffic stop up ahead. This is Severin Freeman. Check out the freedomparadox.org/live. Again, that's the freedomparadox.org/live. We are in the city of Bethlehem on 3rd Street, approaching a traffic stop.
Somebody?
I think he just went after somebody else.
Yep.
Oh, we got 2 traffic stops happening in a row right here. Should I just stop here?
Yeah.
Oh, this says no trespassing. Shoot. All right. We're gonna have to split up here. Severin Freeman, the freedomparadox.org. We got 2 traffic stops happening in a row right here. We got Bethlehem backup coming behind us. I'm going to turn around up here and we are going to pull into the hotel parking lot. Shoot. That one just went over that way, over the bridge.
Yeah, I'm not going that way.
We don't have a choice. We're going to go to this one right here. Again, this is Severin Freeman. Check out the freedomparadox.org/live to see this video and all of the rest of our videos while we are live out here. We are approaching the stop right now. Just going to pull up on parking and we'll be right on top of them. Pulling into the Comfort Suites. And of course, there's no parking in here, right? There's one right over there.
There. Go down where he is. That's fine. You can't be right here. Absolutely not.
This is a public walkway.
You're not going to start that with me right now. It's not happening.
This is a public walkway. Are you serious
Walkway.
right now?
You can walk. You can either go down there or you can go down there. Right now you're in our way and you're interfering. I have
a visible press pass.
I don't care. Go.
How is I interfering by quietly
that's about
standing
as far
here?
as you can go. Back by the sign's better. Okay?
How am I quietly standing here interfering with you?
Walk. Okay?
Can I have your name,
there and
please?
film.
Can I have your name, please?
Lieutenant Hackett. Go down there and film, or go down there and film. You may not stand here.
Do you have a supervisor on duty?
Yes, I am. I'm not arguing with you.
I was going down there.
Okay.
Why are you touching me?
Because you're not moving. You going down with him? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Lieutenant Hackett. Lieutenant Hackett. Yep.
Okay.
I have a visible press pass around my neck, and he just put his hands on me.
Press pass can walk down there.
You guys must be hiding something since you don't want the cameras around here.
You know, I've never had a bad thing to say about Bethlehem Police. I come here as an example of why our rights are respected. This is ridiculous.
I'm here.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
That's about as far as I want you to go. Okay?
You know we don't interfere with your job, Lieutenant. You know that. There's no reason for that. You're unprofessional.
He just absolutely put his hands on me and pushed me backwards. Lieutenant Hackett. I can't believe he just put his hands on me like that. I was nowhere near them. He came to me. What's that?
Came from across the street, right?
Yeah.
Alright guys, well we just jumped in. Jump back out.
Tell it where we are, what's going on. We're out by the Perkins on, I'm not sure what, I think it's 3rd Street or 4th Street. Right in front of the Perkins in the south side of Bethlehem City. Right by the bridge for 378. This officer on the right-hand side, named Officer Hackett, just put his hands on me to move me, saying that I was interfering with their stop and I was nowhere near him. I then objected and said, I'm wearing a visible press pass, I have a right to be here. And he said he doesn't care about that and continued to push me off. I'm actually shaking because I'm so upset from what he just did. If you're gonna stay back here, I want to go up to the front so somebody has another angle. Officer.
Yeah.
I don't want to startle you. I'd like to go to that corner.
Are you going back up in there?
I'm gonna go over to the corner where you said I could stand before.
All right, go ahead.
We're usually totally respectful to you guys. That was totally unnecessary. This okay?
We'll live with that.
ID. Your ID is going to get mailed back to the state. Alright, so if you're going to mail back to the state, you got to take up whatever you have to issue with your license. I don't know what that is. I don't know how you do that. Okay, you got to take care of that with the state, okay? Right now you get a ticket for driving suspended, okay? Because I can't prove that it's not suspended. I'm just going by what my computer says, okay? So you can take care of whatever you want to do, go to the court hearing, and then you can bring proof that it's not suspended, and so be it, it'll get thrown out of the hearing, okay? But meanwhile, I kept your license, get sent back to PennDOT, and meanwhile you have to get an ID card. Paperwork that you need is right here, is the ticket, okay? It says your driver's license number and all that information.
You're in an emergency, dude.
Okay? Information that you enter a plea on the 10 business days, okay? If you don't enter a plea on 10 business days, you're not going to be your license. Okay? Alright? Switch drivers. Don't mind the guy videotaping.
And I want to report.
Check out the freedomparadox.org to see this video later.
Freedom Paradox?
The Freedom Paradox on Facebook. The Freedom Paradox. Look for this symbol. Look for this symbol. Get out. Have a good night, guys. I'm out here with Real J Gonzo Media. Anybody who just tuned in, the officer over there put his hands on me and pushed me. I want to talk to him. I'm not done. freedomparadox.org/live to watch this streaming. Yeah, I'm gonna stay back. I don't want to get anything. What was his name? Oh, I was gonna call him. He's lieutenant, right?
He's above sergeant.
Lieutenant. I come out to Bethlehem to show people that police respect your rights to film. Like, this is always an example. I go to other towns to like show dirty cops. In this town, I never expected. It's never. Let
me explain it to you then. Hey, can I speak to him, please? I have no problem with you filming. You want to film? That's great. I mean, not that those were bad guys, but had something gone bad, great, we got on film. That's awesome. I mean, I wish we had cameras everywhere. I got no problem with you filming. What I have a problem with is you standing in the middle between the police cars and a person that we don't even have identified yet. That's not safe for you. It's not safe for us. It doesn't happen. I won't allow it, ever. Okay? I have that legal right. Look it up. Okay? So, I'm sorry if you took offense, but again, it's not the fact that you're out here. It's not the fact that you're filming. It's the fact of where you chose to stand. You probably could have stood up there and probably got a better vantage point anyway and been fine, but you can't be in our way. I wouldn't let anybody stand there. I wouldn't let the real press stand there.
You let that other guy walk right up.
I let him walk up as I'm dealing with him. My other 2 officers had the car, and I immediately escorted him out of the scene. Agreed?
Yeah.
Same thing I did with you. Okay?
Yeah.
I checked if he had emergency. He said no. I had him wait. When we were done, I went to see what his issue was. We're going to help him out with what he needs. I just can't have you standing in the middle of it. What if that guy comes out and starts shooting at us? Now I got to worry about you. I got to worry about my guys. Now I got to worry about a civilian standing in the middle where he doesn't belong.
I was standing off to where I thought was safe on the sidewalk.
It's not. I wouldn't let anybody there, okay? Plus, if you want to get technical, by law, you can't stop on a sidewalk blocking proper egress for people walking through. That's not what it's for, okay? If this were like a big scene and we had like the real press here, they know they can't be in a spot like that. They come and ask us, where can we stand and film? And we'll get them a little spot on the side, just like I did for you. You want to be down there? You want to be down there? That's fine. You can't be in the middle of my scene, ever.
All right.
Agreed?
Well, I wanted to speak to you because I didn't appreciate how hostile that felt.
Okay.
Because it felt like you were about to arrest me, and it was totally uncalled for.
Absolutely would have.
I was.
Had you not moved, I absolutely would have.
All right. Well,
not what I would prefer to do, but.
All right.
Cop tells you to move, you move. You don't argue, you just move. Right? But do you understand why? Do you understand why that's not an appropriate place for you to stand and film?
Yes, I thought you were saying I had to leave the scene totally.
No, I never said that. Play it back.
All right, well, when I was standing there and it was happening, I thought you were saying, move along, get out of here. And that's why I was objecting. If you would have just said, either step back there or step over there, not in between the cars.
I'm pretty sure if you play it back, that's what I said. I mean, I didn't explain. But I don't, listen, I don't have time to go into the whole thing like I do now. I said to you, no, not there, keep moving. That's all I need to say. Yes, and you move, and then we would have been fine. I'm not going to stand there and explain it to you because you're in the spot I don't want you to be. I need you out, and then I'll explain it to you. You know what I mean?
All right.
So if you took offense, I'm sorry, but it's, you know.
Well, I don't think we've ever met. And
we've met 1,000 times.
Have we?
Yeah.
Lieutenant,
yes.
I want to shake your hand for that because we don't get this kind of professionalism from the Allentown Police Department.
Well, yeah, they usually say screw you and
I can't
drive
comment
away.
on those guys, but, you know.
Well, I'm just letting you know, as a lieutenant, as somebody that's behind the badge, just wanted to let you know.
All right, well, thanks.
Not
I appreciate
all
that.
officers respect.
I have no real problem with what you guys do. I don't quite understand it, to be honest with you. I have no problem.
Third-party record of.
Yeah, like I mean, like
my issue right now is that the state of Pennsylvania, you don't even have a body cam on, but if you did, that wouldn't be accessible to anybody. I couldn't go in tomorrow and say, hey, I had an interaction with officer such and such. Yep. I'd like that body cam because the governor signed that bill saying that that's not accessible. Right. So my goal is to teach everyone that this is our only chance in a police encounter to have a video that will be released, because the other videos will only be released in the interest of an officer. If they chose officer misconduct, it's not going to be released right away. They're going to be doing that whole investigation. It's going to be released months and months and months down the road. Just like today.
But it will be released.
There was the nurse being arrested. I'm sure every officer saw it. It was all across the internet in Utah. The nurse being arrested while on duty.
I didn't see the whole thing, so I can't even comment.
That happened 2 months ago, but every news station is reporting on it today because of the way the body cams work. The people have a right to have their encounters out there, and my goal is to teach people that.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you, because I think the right of the people involved to have an appropriate investigation done trumps the public's right to see something that doesn't really affect them right now. So, for an example, let's say that I got caught on camera doing something that I shouldn't. It'll never happen because I don't do anything I shouldn't. I'm now the bad guy in the situation. I have the right to have a fair and impartial investigation done, not the picture of what I did blast all over social media.
Okay, but let me flip that around.
Okay.
does an officer have extra rights then? Because when a
No.
person
No.
when a person is caught and charged with something, there's no presumption of innocence. The media runs with that night from the officer's standpoint. There is no second standpoint from that. They take the officer's police reports and they publicize them as if they're actual incidents.
They have access to the criminal complaints. That's law. I didn't write it. I don't agree with that either. I don't think
that
they
doesn't
should.
work for officers. It's a different system for them, and it's not right that they should get a
I don't
special.
follow that.
Officers get a special procedure when they mess up on the job. Their information isn't released. It's not like that.
If they're arrested, that's accessible to the media.
If they're arrested in the very, very rare occurrence that an officer does something so heinous that they end up arrested while being in uniform.
I mean, but
usually it's an instance where internal investigations is looking into it. Months pass, the media dies down, everything dies down, and then they can slowly release what they want to release. And I don't feel that that's fair. It's a double standard.
Again, I'm going to disagree with you. I mean, we're not going to see eye to eye on it, but I mean,
well,
you make some good points.
As far as a person's right to film their interaction while they're getting pulled over by the police, while if a police comes to their home and they want to film that, they should not only feel that they are safe doing that, but that it's a right, that they should do that. Why shouldn't they do that? It's a thing that should be done.
I mean, yes, they have the right to do it. Should they do it? I mean,
it's only in the person's interest that you're responding to for them to film the encounter.
I don't see I don't see it's necessary to do. I mean, if the police showed up at my house for whatever reason, my first reaction wouldn't be to break out a camera and film them. I wouldn't feel the need.
The reason that it's so necessary, it may not happen in Bethlehem very often, but across the country there are incidents daily where a video camera saves people's lives or saves their criminal record, saves the truth coming out about an incident. There are so many incidents where if there was no video, there was just one in Reading where if the camera on somebody's porch didn't catch the actual incident, the officer had this lady charged with assaulting an officer when he beat her up on the side of the road and smashed her cell phone when she tried to record it. I mean, that was all over 69 News. That was common news, and her charges were only dropped after the fact, after the video came released, because the officer claimed no video was rolling. The officer had no body cam, and it claimed his car cam wasn't rolling.
Okay.
So after the incident, there was nothing but her taken away in handcuffs. She was facing major charges.
Okay.
It was her word against the officers, and the only reason that the truth was able to come out was because of third-party video camera being there.
Well, I'm glad the truth came out, if it in fact was the truth. What led up to that, though?
What led up to that was an illegal stop. He was pulling her over. She was driving down the road, and in the police report, he claims that she didn't use a turn signal to park.
Okay.
The video camera clearly showed her turn signal was on.
What? Oh, the video camera from a porch or something?
Yeah, somebody's porch. It clearly showed her park with her turn signal, get out of the car, speak with the officer. The officer ordered her out of the car. She tried to pull out her cell phone and said, "I don't feel safe."
Yeah.
And that small part was caught on cell phone video, and he snatched it out of her hand, smashed it, and roughed her up right there.
If that were in fact
claimed
true,
she assaulted him,
then he's absolutely wrong. I mean, but
these incidents
how many cops?
happen.
How many are acting like that?
But why take the chance?
Listen, I'm just saying I don't see the.
If it's your right, why take the chance?
Go right ahead. But
that's my position.
I have no problem with it. Videotape all you want. I got no problem.
My goal would be police departments accepting the public's right and allowing the TV show Live PD.
Yeah.
Allowing something similar in each department.
That show's live.
I know it's a fake show. I know it's absolutely fake. But I'm saying
I'm
something.
I'm surprised you reference it.
No, I'm saying something similar to that, where camera crews are officially sanctioned by the police department and they live let the people of the town see what each department is doing. I think the people paying taxes have a right to be able to turn their TV on and turn on their local channel and say, "Hey, this is what the Bethlehem PD are doing tonight. I can appreciate this. They're stopping drunk drivers. I can appreciate this.
I got no problem with it unless that precludes us from doing an investigation that we need to do. I mean, maybe we don't want somebody to know that we're on this block because we're looking for something. You know what I mean? So there's limits to it, but yeah, I got no problem with that. So.
Well, that would be an ideal situation in my eyes, is where video, instead of it being a situation where it's all released, it would be live, and police departments could sanction the people that follow them. It doesn't have to be a situation where.
But then doesn't the person who's committing the crime or doing whatever is being caught on camera, don't they have a right to not have that? Because they have a right to a fair trial, and if everybody in the area saw that on TV happen, how are you going to give the person a fair trial?
If they're doing it on your cameras,
yeah,
that would be something that should be able to be released later anyway. So if it was something that occurred while you guys were there, especially if it's something that occurs while you guys were there, if you guys don't have body cameras and they're claiming you guys assaulted them, and you can say, oh well, live police was there that night. The whole thing was up.
Listen, I'm looking forward to body cameras because I know 9,999 times out of 10,000, the camera's going to show what we want it to, and it's going to bolster a case. I mean, are cops perfect? No. I'll be the first one to tell you they're not. They're human.
I mean, you guys haven't had a Bethlehem officer all over the news for being inappropriate. I don't even want to get into what he did.
Unfortunate case.
You guys were appropriate at firing him immediately, and hopefully he doesn't get another job as an officer, but it happens, is the point.
Yeah.
Even Bethlehem is not immune to it.
No, I'll tell you, I mean, do you know the whole story behind that? Do you know the mental illness that was a result of his time in Iraq, his 8 tours?
I don't know about all that. I just know about the incident.
That's my point, though. There's always a little bit more to the story than everybody knows. I'm not defending his actions. It's inexcusable. He knows it was inexcusable.
With a background like that, and the department knew that he had these issues.
It was undiagnosed. It wasn't diagnosed.
They don't do evaluation when they sign up to become a police officer.
Sure.
When they're in the process of training.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly the point. Some slip through the cracks. We could have had you here tonight. We could have had an officer that wanted to smash my cell phone or rough me up. I don't know.
We don't have too many of those here, so, I mean...
Well, like I said, I usually I'm in other towns looking for misconduct. I'm usually here to show videos of this is how easy it is. I was very surprised how fast that seemed to escalate when usually I'm totally friendly with you guys. I talk to you guys. I even shake your hands. If you guys want to talk, I'm here. If not, I respect and I leave quietly.
It actually surprised me that you set up there because I thought you knew better.
Well, I usually do. I thought since the sidewalk was here and you guys were over here that I was far enough away.
No, that's
it's we're all not perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. You maybe little out of your following your gut, trying to protect us. That's why you probably maybe had to get a little physical by pushing him back.
I didn't push him.
Well. The way you came,
it felt like a push.
So let me.
It felt like I was either walking or getting taken into custody. That's how it felt.
If I say, "Look, you got to move," and you just stand there staring at me, I said, "Look, you got to move," and you don't move, I'm gonna take you like this, and we're gonna walk. Now you resist that. Now you're getting in handcuffs. Absolutely, 100%. So, but let's be honest. I did not push him. I didn't push him.
No, you just had my arm.
I did like that. And I'm directing him down here. He said he wanted to go the other way.
I usually don't like physical contact because if I was to do that to you and be like, no, I don't want you over here, then
you'd be on your face in handcuffs.
Exactly.
Absolutely, you would.
So you see the.
But it's not a double standard because I'm protected by the law because I have to come out here and do my job.
We're not protected by the law.
But listen to me, don't twist my words. Okay, that's not going to work here. Okay, trust me, you're unarmed for this battle. Okay, but. Had he immediately, when I said, look, you can't be there, you got to go, if he immediately started walking, I wouldn't have had to do anything else. It would have been the end of it. Okay? But he wanted to argue his side, which I understand, but that's not the place and that's not the time. Down here, wait till we're done. Now, let me hear your side of the story and I'll explain mine, just like we did. That's why that happened that way.
Not often do we have police officers stop and have a conversation like this with the department.
And something very similar.
This is what I mean. Like Bethlehem, Whitehall Township, very professional.
Okay.
Respect out. I had an officer come up to us. Well, actually, he was doing a traffic stop, and the people in the car did not want us recording. However,
a big problem.
One of your officers said it's his right to record on public property.
Yeah.
I can ask him, but I can't make him stop.
Yeah.
Now, we said we thank you for standing up and respecting our right to film.
That's what worries me about you guys is you pull up and start filming our own people, you ain't gonna have a problem with us. You're gonna have a problem with some other people. I mean, we can only protect you so far, you know what I mean?
Exactly, that's the chance we take, but we're here to hold everybody accountable. You know, there's too many people saying, well, blaming this and blaming that. No, let's watch the video from the beginning and see from a judgment from there.
If this is what you guys do, why not get some better equipment? Get some lenses.
This is $1,000 A6 camera.
I mean, that's a regular digital camera with a zoom lens, right? But like, why not
it's with the best top of the line one. It's meant so your spotlights can't blind it.
It just seems small. I'm just thinking, why not get a video camera with like, you know, so you can film from 3 miles away, and you know what I mean. Like, then you're in a safe area. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, if that does the job, okay. It just looks small to me. I don't know. I'm not a
usually we have
techie.
Usually we have at least 2: the professional camera and one for live streaming.
Okay.
So
we just like to keep a third-party record of the incident. You know, we don't want officers lying on the sheet because it makes your department look bad.
I don't want that either.
Exactly.
Because I'm the boss.
And right here next door, right in Bethlehem Township, one of our videos, right there, Bethlehem Township, we have a video of an officer going through a DUI and charging someone and taking him into custody after he passed the test because there was a skunk right on the road. And it's documented, and he was able to fight his DUI because of that. The cop was using the skunk for over an hour to pull cars over and say they smelled like marijuana. We documented the entire thing.
Okay. I mean,
this stuff happens.
I don't know what to say, but
this stuff happens.
Very strange to me.
We couldn't believe it.
Because listen, I'm gonna give you a little inside stuff. Most of my guys like their job and they like doing their job and most of it, but like arresting somebody for DUI, that's a lot of paperwork. We don't get paid anymore. We don't get like, hey, look how great he did. I mean, there's nothing in it for us to make arrests. So when certain people are like, oh, you're just arresting me to get your quota, it's almost laughable because we don't have quotas. And
you make overtime on all the court dates.
No, you don't.
You don't make overtime when you have to go to court?
We get compensated for it, but it's not worth it. Think about this. I got to get up in the middle of my sleep, you know, at what to me is 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, even though it's 10 o'clock in the morning, you know, but I got to get up in the middle of my sleep, drag my sorry ass to court. It's, you know, and sometimes you get there and it's like, oh, it's a waiver. It ain't worth it. It really isn't. And I tell you what, every single one of my guys will tell you the same thing. Some of these guys live an hour and a half away. Stroudsburg, Jim Thorpe. You think they want to drive in here to have a 5-minute hearing? They don't. That's one of my biggest issues is getting them to do more because they're like, I don't want to come to court. So to me, it's just laughable when people say that stuff.
You know, do you believe in like if there's no victim, there's no crime?
No.
Like if somebody, like let's say you just caught somebody doing a DUI and he just happens to live right down the street. Yeah. Would you take him to his house to make sure he's safe, or you gotta?
I'm gonna arrest him.
I'm gonna arrest him.
Broke the law.
No, not for a DUI. But what about for a public drunkenness? What if he's walking home from the bar and he's just bombed and he lives a block away?
What I'm trying to say,
you're missing an element.
What's that?
To be a public drunk, you have to be in public, intoxicated, and a danger to yourself or others. If he's walking down the street and I can say like that guy's drunk, but he's making it. Hey, buddy, you all right? Yeah.
So if he's walking down the street yelling.
Now if he's yelling, he's kicking over flower pots, he's walking in the street, and then okay, well now he's a danger. There, he broke the law. Are there times when discretion? Yeah, there are. You know, the 90-year-old lady breezes through a stop sign, doesn't hit anybody. Can you let her go? You can, but maybe you file the paperwork for PennDOT to have her retested. You know, I mean, you don't just turn a blind eye. But yeah, not everybody needs to be arrested for every little infraction. You know, we don't have time for that, unfortunately. But
I feel like a lot of what I see that really bothers me is cops that are just sitting. Like they'll do a stop, then they'll go sit for another half hour, then they'll go do a stop, and they sit and meet up. And like it's 2 or 3 stops throughout the whole night, and all night long they spent at least half their time sitting in a parking lot talking.
Do you know what they're doing?
Well, I don't.
That's my point. You're bothered
but
by
what
it.
takes that long?
Hold on, but you're bothered by it, but you don't know what's going on.
But what specifically bothers me about it is then the police will go to the town and say, we need more cops, we need more budget, we need to crack down on crime. Well, the crimes that are being committed are being, you're not utilizing your manpower to the maximum ability if half the time they're sitting in parking lots.
You just agreed that you don't know what they're doing in that parking lot.
I don't, but does it take half the shift to do?
Yeah, it does. Everything we do then requires documentation. And it's not easy. We got this little tiny computer in the car. You're all cramped up like this. It's not easy. Do cops take breaks and just chill for a little bit? Absolutely. Absolutely they do. Tell me somebody who works an 8-hour shift that doesn't. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, like, we catch one person, some, you know, relatively minor arrest, public drunk or something. It's probably 2 hours worth of paperwork.
Turn your lights on! Your lights!
See, if you weren't talking to us, you would have just pulled them over.
I absolutely would have. Absolutely would have.
Oh, so we helped somebody tonight. I'm just kidding.
Did you? Did you help somebody?
No,
well,
everybody.
What about the person they run over because they couldn't see him? And
now they just got a chance to turn their lights on and go about their business.
No victim, no crime.
Would I have cited that guy if everything else was straight? Absolutely not. Hey man,
some officers don't.
Well, that's the question. Would you have cited them?
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have personally, but because I know that this area with all the lights, he could have just pulled out a Taylor family, and it's so bright, and his dash is lit up. He didn't realize he didn't flip roll.
We all made that mistake.
Honest mistake.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's it.
Babe, can you get the camera over too?
I gotta go.
Go ahead.
All right.
Do your job.
Nice
Have a good one. It was good to speak to you.
We understand each other?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right.
Did you catch where that was? His call?
I don't know, kid. We should have asked if we could go with him. Jump in the back seat with him.
Yeah, right.
You're a real life costume, you know?
Which way is he going?
Dude, I took.
Oh, wow, they're all flying down there. Let's go. What are we doing? Here, hold this. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, don't go crazy, man. You're not driving down there.
Well, that got a little intense. I thought I was about to get arrested.
But, maybe some cops are not such assholes.
I think I could have fought that if I was arrested.
Yeah, but
there's some things you just don't. It's not worth it.
He stood for like a good 20 minutes talking to us.
All right, there they are. They're all the way down there. They're making a right. There goes another one with his headlights off.
Oh my God! Turn on your damn lights.
They're making a right at the light.
Oh,
Or no, they went down that way.
Yeah.
Shoot! It's a one-way.
Can you make a left here, or?
I got this. I can turn on red here.
Turn on your lights, man. Damn it. Another one.
What are they down here, right?
Yeah.
They went right at the stop sign. There they are. Oops. Again, guys, this is Severin Freeman, the freedomparadox.org/live. This is live filming police. Live out here in the city of Bethlehem.
Oh, you don't got a headlight out, do you? He's got a headlight out.
Looks like whatever they were going to has just ended. But we're behind the supervisor, and I think he knows we're back here. He saw us park. He knew where we were parked back there.
He said, because you guys could have stood right above there. I would have been okay with it. He's going into the parking lot.
Oh, no, I'm not going there. That's a parking lot. Okay.
And he went into the way do not enter to try to get you. What a slick bastard. It's
right.
like,
I guess I'm going to just turn around. I'm going to
call it a night. That was pretty
yeah,
intense.
that was I was all shaky after that.
Well, you calmed down afterwards after you came and spoke. Well, that which was professional.
Yeah, but that's not a good feeling to have somebody grab your arm and push you along like that.
That's what we're trying to explain to him. But you know, like we understand.
There's a way to do things and a way not. You don't need to grab up on somebody and get all aggressive like that.
That's why I made.
Totally unnecessary.
This is why I made the point where if I was to tell you move along, I would have like put my hand the way you did. I would have got like, and he said it too. I would have been on the floor. Exactly. That's like, you see what I mean? Like, we don't do it to you. Why do you have to do it to us? The point we're making. You know, like, so.
Well, whatever was going on just ended, and it seems quiet out here now. Lap around, see what we see real quick. He says he's met me before. I don't think I've ever met him. He must have just been at a stop that I was at.
Most likely. See, he's met you before. That's weird. You should probably look through all your videos and see if you came across him.
I like how he said at first, oh, well, the cops should be able to keep their videos private. It should be allowed to be able to come out in an investigation. And then he switched it up when I was like, well, what about live? What if it was a live thing? He's like, oh, well, I'd be okay with that. Like, how does that make sense? If it's live accessible, but you can't, like, what's this in front of us? They're all sitting there with their hazards on. Is this them? Is this the stop that they were headed towards? I think I just accidentally stumbled on them.
No, that's a bike. Who's
School
that?
police. It's the Lehigh University cops.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to get out and film this?
Where are they?
They're right across the street talking with those people. Look, here comes Bethlehem.
Is it? Alright. Looks like we just got here right in time. I'm gonna go park right over there.
You gonna stop this and...
No.
Oh.
Don't. We'll keep that rolling live. Just for this whole thing. Alright, we're parked up. Let's go run over there and see what's happening. Check out the freedomparadox.org/live. Also check out Real J Gonzo Media to check out his coverage of this night. We have Bethlehem police on scene now. Bethlehem police officer seems to be leaving, actually.
I guess the stop just ended. The Lehigh University officer is still here, but the Bethlehem officer is leaving, which tells me that it's ending. He's up on the porch, though. Lehigh University, car number 302. Lecturing them about not having house parties. Oh, you know what? There's two Lehigh U. There's the other. There's the motorcycle there with his hazards on is also another officer. I think there might be an officer in the house then. We're just filming the cop. This guy's up there talking to the cop, trying to be all friendly, like, "Oh, my uncle's a police officer. He used to hate people like that would film him." Are they actually here interviewing each person to make sure everybody's of age? That seems excessive. Seven Freeman here again, freedomparadox.org. We're outside. I guess it's Lehigh University dorms that are, a lot of these houses are rented out by Lehigh University students. And this cop is in there. There are two officers. One is standing outside, and it sounded like the other one's inside interviewing each person to check their IDs. It sounded like he said everything will be cool after he interviews everybody, and everybody's of age. So I guess if you're a Lehigh University student, you have to sign away your rights or something, because that's crazy that they would just be able to come in and knock on your door and say, "Hey, let me see all your IDs." A Bethlehem officer just arrived on scene. Officer is now talking closely, so we can't hear anything. That Bethlehem officer just rolled up, jumped in that car, grabbed the can, and handed it to the Lehigh officer. And then he ran around the back of the building. Bethlehem officer has gloves on. Usually that's an indicator that they're making an arrest or they're going to do some kind of search. Again, anybody just tuning in, this is Severin Freeman. We are outside Lehigh University dorms where a few Lehigh University cops are inside checking IDs, I guess, of everybody at this party. And there's one outside sitting with a few people, talking with them. Check out the freedomparadox.org/live, thefreedomparadox.org/live. Watch this and all of our past streams. People keep slowly leaving, I guess, from the back of the house. It looks like what's going on is they're just breaking up the party and checking IDs and letting one person go at a time out the back door, and everybody's just headed home. We're just going to sit here and make sure if they make any arrests that they don't rough anybody up or do anything uncalled for. Alright guys, once again, this is Sever Freeman for the freedomparadox.org. I think we're going to just call this. If anything major was going on, they would have Bethlehem police back here. And they had Bethlehem police come, and they stopped in a few times, but they didn't stay, which means that no arrests are happening, because any arrests have to go through the regular police department. So we're going to go on, we're going to call this. Make sure you check out Real J Gonzo Media to see his camera angle of all this. Thank you guys for tuning in to this stream. We're going to call this a night now. Remember to always film the police. It's your right.